Epic Gaming Night is made possible by the support of patrons like you. Welcome to the Epic Gaming Night podcast, a podcast about the stories and relationships board games create. I'm your host, Roy Canny, and with me as always is Rob!
Rob, yes.
And hey. Matt's Empty Room. How's it going, Matt's Empty Room?
Matt's Empty Room.
Oh, Matt's here. Here's Matt. I see Matt.
Hello.
Matt was parched, so he had to correct that.
He was parched.
I was like, I should do this, and then Rob was telling a compelling story, so I was just like, I'm just going to keep listening to Rob's story. And then I was like, oh, we're about to start.
How's it going, everybody? Did you guys all have a good weekend?
Yeah. How about you, man?
Dude, things have been insane.
Yeah?
Constantly.
Was that your first time in Vegas?
That was my first time that far west. Like, the furthest west I had ever gone was like Minnesota, which I don't think that's like not even Midwest. That's just north.
Haven't you been to Memphis?
Tennessee?
Yeah.
Tennessee isn't west. Minnesota is way further west than Tennessee.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's not west. Neither of those things are west, but
I've been east
So
coast,
it's
west coast.
technically Midwest.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Memphis is not west either. No, but it's further west than North Carolina. Gabriel.
Yeah, for sure.
And Roy.
Yes, that is true. There is truth to that. But it's like one state over to the west. That's about it.
Yeah, but okay, in its defense, Tennessee is a stupid long state, bro.
You are right. It does go
I've driven through that state
east to west
multiple times.
North Carolina is the same way, though. It's like, hey, man, to get to Tennessee, you're going to take about 8 hours. Or to get to the coast, probably going to be about 5 to 8 hours, depending on where you're going. And it's just like, why? I'm in the middle. What is happening?
Yeah.
It's 2 hours to get to either state, north or south.
Yeah.
But go east or west,
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it takes us 14 hours to drive from our house to my in-laws' house in Arkansas. And about half of that, if not a little bit more, is in Tennessee.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
This has also been the first time that I flew in a plane since I was 18, so it was nice to fly in a plane to a convention instead of riding in a car.
Was it a Boeing?
I don't know what it was. It was an
Boeing
airplane.
737?
Hey, is it a 737 MAX 8?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Is that one of the ones that just went down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And here's what I love about the U.S. All these other nations are like, nope, we're going to protect our people. We're going to ground them for the time being just until Boeing gets their act together. And the USA is like, yeah, but we already have all these flights scheduled, so unless we find out something else, keep flying. I mean, that's literally what's going on. The USA, they're waiting on the I think it's FAA or FFA, to make their decision before they ground any flights. But like a ton of countries in India and Europe, or not India, in Asia and Europe have already grounded their planes, and U.S. is just like, nah.
We got things to do.
Like I think it's like several hundred flights that they have scheduled here in the next couple of weeks.
Did multiple planes crash, or is it just one?
This is the second plane to crash, I think, within 6 months.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's all been within like the first 10 or 15 minutes of takeoff, and they immediately just nosedive out of the sky.
And Boeing's first response to the initial thing was, yeah, man, sometimes that happens. Just have better skilled pilots. And it's just like, I'm sorry?
Like, what? Yeah.
Wait, what?
And now, like with this response, you can't necessarily say that, you know.
Hey, I'm glad this story's coming out after I got home.
Yeah.
Or else I'd be real nervous. I was just watching.
I'm always nervous flying.
I was just watching Bird Box on Netflix and was fine.
Oh man, I do not talk when I'm on a plane. You can ask my wife.
Rob, have you seen Bird Box?
Yes, I've seen Bird
Did
Box.
that freak you out? That seems like something.
No, because I predicted it from the very beginning.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Seems
that
like
little place that they go to in the very end. I was like, those are going to be the people that run the world. Watch it. And my wife was like, no. I was like, watch. Here's what's going to happen. and then boom, 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 boom. Now, the only part that did freak me out was that part on the boat where she almost picked that girl. I was like, Sandra Bullock, if you become a major douche right now and do this, I won't give away too much, but you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
Do
Since becoming a dad, any scenes where like kids are in peril makes me like super nervous.
Bro, when somebody had a look and she was talking about that little girl.
Yeah.
I was about to push Sandra Roberts out of the boat. I was like, nope. Like,
nice. Awesome. Well, I guess we can get into some news. This is a podcast about board games and stuff sometimes. But yeah, the first thing I want to talk about in the news is Recon, which is coming up in Kernersville at Re3 in Kernersville, and is March 30th and 31st. And I hear that you guys are trying to throw down a challenge at Recon.
For me, it's not so much a challenge. It's just for Kent Parker to open up his eyes and to realize how great of a game Shadows over Camelot is, and you're not allowed to sell it. That's like one of the few games. If I see you selling that game online, you're not a gamer to me. You are terrible, stupid, bad life decisions. Like, what's going on in your life that you need to sell that game?
What kind of addictions do you have that you're not able to overcome?
Now he's in chat.
Ken's like, hey.
Yeah.
You just missed up, pushing you into the dirt.
If you sell Shadows over Camelot, it's just... Oh, I did not read the book, Jordan, so I did not know about that at the end of Bird Box. But anyway, I'm excited to go. I should be able to be there Saturday. I don't think I'll be there Sunday. In fact, I pretty much know I won't be there Sunday.
Right.
But Saturday, I plan on being there and playing some games. Like, I'm excited to. Hopefully, Matt gets to come. I haven't touched Matt in many moons. Like, even if it's just a quick handhold or a side butt cheek touch or a hug or something, I just need to touch Matt. I mean, look at his hair. He cut his hair. What's going on, Matt? And just things are going on. So,
yeah.
You gonna be there?
I'm gonna try to be. I don't have anything currently that I think is in the way of showing up Saturday. However, working retail has a tendency to just be like, hey, just kidding. Your
just
time.
Be like, sorry, got plans, Target. Bye.
Yeah.
You can only be mad for so long, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what are they going to do without you?
Same thing they would do with me.
Right.
Not get nothing done. No, I'm just kidding.
So
cool.
Recon, check it out. It's in Kernersville.
Yeah,
March
Recon
30th,
is an awesome
31st.
convention that I helped start. And normally I have go visit my board game collection because I have only half of my games. So go to Recon and visit the rest of my board games that I don't have here because they're all over. They'll be at that convention. Even though I won't. But they have like a bajillion play-to-wins and tons of awesome people that play games. It's just a convention about playing games and having fun. Say what?
Luke does a really good job with that.
Dude, yeah, the play-to-wins and the giveaways and the prizes and stuff are ridiculous. On top of the fact that it's free to attend and it's just fun to hang out. So if you're anywhere in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, make sure to check out Recon or travel from further. Who knows? It's a 2-day event this time, so it's worth the drive. So make sure to check it out. And if you're there on March 30th, maybe you can hang out with these cool guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very excited to be able to hang out with some people.
Awesome. Well, I actually added something to the list that wasn't on the show notes before, but I don't know if you guys have seen this. But have you guys seen the Kickstarter for Claustrophobia 1643?
No.
So Claustrophobia is like this old school game that they've remade with like these awesome miniatures, and they had a Kickstarter before.
Isn't Adam like a big fan of Claustrophobia?
I think so. But anyway, the game looked really cool. I saw we had a live thing where Sam and Z played it. It looks like a cool game. Like it's like basically these like holy warriors going down under like Jerusalem or something like that and fighting off all these demons or something in these underground passages and weirdness like that. But it like the system looks really cool, like and simplistic, but it's got all these crazy miniatures. Well, they're doing like a Super Flash Kickstarter for this game. It's coming back out. It's like $89 for the game, which is a lot of money, but it's one of those games that's just in a giant box with tons of miniatures, and like the game is super.
It's only got 42 hours left.
I know. They only are running the Kickstarter for 2 days, and their delivery date is in March
Of this year?
this month. They
So
have
they
the
already
game.
have it done.
So
Yeah.
basically, when they printed the Kickstarter, they got all the Kickstarters back, and instead of going to stores with the extra copies, you can just buy it out of this Kickstarter. But it's going to be super hard to find other than that. And the game's super solid, so
Is
I
it
don't
good?
know. I think it looks pretty good. I thought about like actually getting it, but I'm just like, I don't know who I'd play it with, and we already have it in the Dice Tower library. But I feel like it's
Man.
going to be valuable, you know.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I don't know if I need another dungeon crawler. I have a lot of dungeon
Right.
crawlers, and I still haven't even played flipping Nemesis yet. I've been trying to play that.
Dude, take that to Recon.
I may have to take that to Recon if I don't have it played before then, which Recon will be here in like 2 weeks. So yeah, it'll be Recon probably.
Yeah. Make it happen. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that just in case any of you
Okay.
peeps out there are interested in it at all. Make sure to check it out now, because literally, if you're hearing this like a couple days late, it's over. It's already over.
Yeah.
But they're having like a super like I've never seen a 2-day Kickstarter, but it's kind of crazy.
Damn. That's kind of cool though. They almost have already 2,000 backers. They're a little over 1,900. Nope.
Yeah.
Somebody listening just bought because they just went up to 1923. And it was at 1923.
There you go.
Was that you, Matt?
No.
Because I heard a ding. I heard a ding on somebody's computer.
Sorry, that's my phone. Somebody's texted me.
It was a notification saying that Matt Robbins. No, I'm not. Matt doesn't allow me to follow him on Kickstarter because he sees how much crap I give Rob.
Can you block people? Because
I just didn't link my Facebook.
somebody else just
isn't
backed.
that how y'all follow each other? Is like through Facebook?
I think so. And the
Yeah.
only reason why I link Facebook is because like I don't have to fill in all that information. So it's like, yeah, just log in with Facebook.
Nice.
All right. Well, sweet, man.
Sweet. Awesome.
Good
Well,
stuff.
this next thing is something that Rob wanted to talk about.
Yes.
It's a Kickstarter that we did start talking about, but Rob wanted to add some more thoughts about it.
This Kickstarter has been blowing my mind. Not in like the best way. Not like oh my goodness, like I absolutely love. I'm talking about his throw burrito. All right?
Mhm.
Throw burrito. Have you guys? Did either one of you back it by this chance? I mean, there's still plenty of time. There's still 16 days to go.
No.
I am excited for Throw Burrito. They do not have any stretch goals. They're not doing stretch goals. They are doing competitions to unlock new stuff. Like some of their competitions that they're doing, you have to take a picture how far you can throw a burrito. You have to take a picture where no burrito has ever been before.
Oh, like actual burritos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's stretch goals. They have the Great Burrito Toss. Eat a burrito where no burrito has been eaten before. Photoshop put a burrito challenge. Then you have to make a burrito or burrito challenge where like you take a pet or a small child and dress them up like a burrito. You have to do burrito with a view. And if first of all, if you unlock some of this stuff and you're the best picture, they will also send you a trophy for
That's
doing this.
awesome.
And you're unlocking more stuff for people to get done. So yeah, there's no stretch goals. There's like nothing extra that you can buy that I know of, and we're now getting a bunch of new cards and things like that. But here's what's kind of blowing my mind about Throw Burrito. All right, both of you guys, if you're on Kickstarter right now, turn off your Kickstarter. I want you to look at some of the stuff I'm about to go over with you.
Turn on or turn off?
Turn it off. Turn it off.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have it on.
Jordan, I made the same mistake. I am getting Throw Burrito. I did. Because Throw Burrito, it's not like Unstable Unicorns. You literally throw burritos at each other. And I will say this. Throw Burrito, have you watched the video for it?
No.
Their little 90-second video is one of the best little pitches I have ever seen. It's like, do you like awesomeness? Do you want to throw stuff at your friends? Do you have like the speed of a cheetah and the something? You need throw burrito. And I'm like, yes, I want this. And I sent it off to like a bunch of to some of my other friends, and they're all like backing it now too. So like we're gonna have like a bunch of like these little burritos in our. So anyway, let me move on. Throw burrito. How much do you think it's raised so far?
Probably like 2 to 3 million, maybe more. I don't
What do you
know.
say, Roy?
I'm not sure.
All right,
A lot of money.
Matt, you're sort of close. They're a little over $1.5 million.
Okay.
$1.5 million for a throw burrito game.
Yeah.
Here's why this is blowing my mind.
But that doesn't mean that it's good.
No, but here's what's blowing my mind. You can get the base game for $20.
Right.
You can get the upgraded pledge with the exclusive stuff for $35. That's what I
Just
back.
Quantity
And
of
then-
people.
Right now, it's got a little over 31,000 people have backed this project.
That's crazy.
That's a lot.
31,000 people. Do you guys know what the top-selling Kickstarter, board game Kickstarter of all time is?
Kingdom Death.
Kingdom Death. Do you know how much money it raised?
I think it was like 12.6 million.
12. It was just about 12.4. 12,393,000 and change.
Yeah.
Guess which was the next one?
It had to be another one of theirs. Maybe.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
sure.
Another one of whose?
know. Like the Matt Inman type of games.
Oh, the Kingdom Death.
Kittens or something. No, sorry.
Oh, it was actually Exploding Kittens.
Hey.
The next highest selling. Guess how many backers it had? Exploding. So Kingdom Death had 19,264 backers pledged for almost 12.4 million.
Right.
Number 2 was Exploding Kittens with 219,382 backers, and it raised almost $8.8 million. The number 3 rated Kickstarter board game, these are all board games, is Seventh Continent with 43,000 or almost 44,000 backers at a little over $7 million. Number 4 was Tainted Grail, which just ended at 42,000 backers and right under 5 million euros. Number 5 was Dark Souls with a little over 31,000 backers and right under 4 million euros. And then the number 6 back Kickstarter of all time with 27,236 backers and right over $5 million was Zombicide Green Horde.
Right.
Right? Here are games that Throw Burrito is beating out right now. You guys remember the Kickstarter for Hate, the exclusive CMON Kickstarter?
Yeah.
It only raised $1,469,489.
Right.
It had a little over 10,000 backers. Secret Hitler, 34,500 plus backers, $1.479 million. Trogdor, Roy, little over 23,000 backers, another
I think that
1.
game's pretty niche, but okay.
1.4. Shadows of Brimstone. Big campaign. Only 4,700 backers, 1.3 million. Brass. Now, I put Brass and Scythe in here. I think Throw Burrito are going to surpass them. Brass had right under
money earned, but not in quality or value.
Brass was 1.7 million. Scythe was 1.8 million. Blood Rage, the physical copy,
Yeah.
only raised 905,000. Blood Rage Digital only raised $769,000. So that means Blood Rage combined was a little over $1.6 million. So Throw Burrito, if everything keeps going the way it's going with 16 days left, will surpass Blood Rage, both physical and digital copies combined. Now, can you guys tell me? All right, well, I already kind of said it. Exploding Kittens is the #1 backed game of all time per people, right? 219,382.
And most
Guess
people
what this-
agree that it's not a very good game.
Guess what the second most backed game is?
What, is it already Throw Burrito?
No. No, Throw Burrito has only got it's right over 31,000. Yeah.
Okay.
It's gotta be something cheap, like a small card game or something.
It is a card game.
I want to say like
Got
I want to say monikers, but I don't think that's popular enough to get that many backers.
Matt, there's a ton of echo coming through yours. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
The number 2 most backed game by backers, not money raised, was Bears versus Babies. Also by the same people that did Exploding Kittens.
Right.
They had
And I've literally never heard of that game.
85,581 backers backed that game. So the first 2 most backed games of all time with people backing them is by the same company, which did Exploding Kittens and Bears versus Babies. Combined, they had a little over 304,963 people back their projects.
So what I should do? So what you're saying is what I should do is campaign against these because
no,
these
I've got a point. I've got a point to all this. The next 7
games are not very good.
But here, okay. Joking Hazard, 7 Continent, Tainted Grail, Gloomhaven, The Binding of Isaac, Unstable Unicorns, and Secret Hitler are the next 7 most popular games, and all of them combined are 296,692 backers. If you add an 8th game, that's when it finally surpasses these 2 games. Here's my point. Is there something that we are missing in the board game industry?
A huge following on the internet that these companies that are outside of board games.
Okay, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. I could understand Exploding Kittens being one of those like the new Monopoly. Like, okay, grandma, grandpa don't know what to get you. This game looks funny, and they buy it like at the store, right?
It's not that at all.
These games had this many backers during the Kickstarter campaign. These aren't post sales,
right? These are you realize these are like companies that have like a huge internet following because of their like comics, right? So they have a huge comic online. It's like a giant web comic.
Sure, but my point is, are we missing something? But are we missing something in the gaming industry where there really is a need or a niche? Like, you may not like the game, right? Like, you may not be a fan of the game, but with over 300,000 people backing these games and wanting to play, and then if you add Throw Burrito, it's another 31,000 plus people. Like, that's what's been kind of racking my brain about this is when I look at like Kickstarter, like Blood Rage, I think Blood Rage is one of the best games of all time. Combined between its physical copy and its digital copy, it had a little over 21,000 people combined for both sets. Right? Throw Burritos already surpassed that, and they still have over 2 weeks left. So
how many people do you think out there are actually still playing? Even the people that don't know about the actual like board gaming hobby that much, they still back this just because. Do you think there's a ton of people out there still playing Exploding Kittens? Like, oh yeah, I love Exploding Kittens. I think a lot of these people got it off of the name and the fact that it was real cheap, and then they maybe played it once or maybe played it. I would almost guess that majority of Exploding Kittens copies probably haven't even gotten played.
How many great games have you played only once?
I mean, there's several.
Yeah. So like the playing once argument, I don't know if it necessarily hits. My point is, I just didn't realize because the way that the market is trending.
Can sell games? Yes, that's true.
No, it's not so much that internet celebrity can sell games, but I didn't think games like this would have such an outpour. Like, I didn't realize.
But a normal publisher wouldn't be able to pull this off.
Well, okay, let me ask you this: who is this famous celebrity? Because I don't know this company.
It's just online. They're an online comic called The Oatmeal, and The Oatmeal has been around. Matt, you probably know more about The Oatmeal than I do, but it's just a web comic that has a bunch of people that follow it. So they have a huge pool with people, and especially when a bunch of the people are fans of that, and they're like, "Hey, check out this thing we made," and it's really cheap. They're like, "Oh, why not?" You know. That sort of thing. But it's just the fact that like there's tons and tons of people out there that know about this thing, and it's not that expensive for them to like fans to get in on. Then they're like, oh well, I might as well just try it out, you know?
Yeah.
I could sort of see that for maybe some, but I don't see that entirely for 290 something thousand backers, or no, 219 something thousand backers. I think maybe we as board gamers or other stuff like that, like we stick up our nose to games like this, like we do in Monopoly and other games like that. Like, oh, that's not a real game, or that's just a cheap
I'm not saying
gimmick.
It's not a real game. I'm just saying that it's not as fun as the other games that are out there. Even
well, sure, but
games.
that's also our opinion. Like, my wife loves Monopoly. I don't care for Monopoly. You guys hate Monopoly, you know. So, I mean, everybody, of course, is allowed to have their own opinion and things like that, and I get that. I was just kind of blown away when I started to look at these numbers a little bit. Like, I did not realize how much was out there or how much was going on. I mean, it literally just, I don't know. It took me by surprise. I thought it was something worth mentioning. I thought it was something that was interesting.
I mean, it's interesting.
Beyond what else was going on. I couldn't believe that Throw Burrito was outselling Blood Rage or some of these other games and things like that. And I didn't go through the top games for sales was easier to find than to go through every single board game that's been completed since then and try to pick up something.
Well, I just hope it's not as bad as Unstable Unicorns, but I don't know how that would be.
Well, one, they don't have like an adult themed version, so
it's like a speed game, right? So like certain things happen, then you got to grab the burrito and throw it at somebody.
Yeah, you are basically, there's a pile of cards in front of you. You are making sets, and if anybody ever gets a set that has like a certain burrito connotation, you have to do that set. Some of them are like duels where you and one other person duel it out. You literally back to back take 3 steps, turn and throw. And then there's some where it's like an all-out war where everybody tries to grab a burrito and you have to throw, and you lose points if you get hit by the burrito. And then there's like other
a speed
sets
thing though, like you see,
yeah,
like
it's like
pattern recognition.
Happy Salmon meets a card game,
right? Or like spoons where you gotta like grab the spoon real quick, but this one you gotta grab the burrito real quick and throw it at somebody.
Pretty much.
Cool.
So anyway, I just thought that was pretty cool, and I'm excited to play it. And I'll be happy to throw a burrito at you guys, and I'll let you know it's not nearly as bad. And also, if you do come to Recon, I am selling my copy of Unstable Unicorns.
Dude, I bet you one guy will be there once I buy it. I'm just kidding.
I may just give it to him. I may.
I don't know. I love that story so much.
It's so weird.
Can I see those After Dark cards?
I just really love unicorns.
No, you can't.
Yeah. Anyway.
Awesome. Well, I have one other thing here on the news that I want to talk about. I don't know if you guys have seen the Silver River game. This is a 4X game from Robert Burke, but this is it's like a Space 4X game. But the interesting thing, we played this live, and the interesting thing about this one is it's like Space 4X with monsters in the middle. Had you looked at this one at all, Rob?
No. Is it on Kickstarter?
Yes. You're like, I don't look at Kickstarters anymore.
I just had a big conversation with my wife about
Kickstarters. I'm kind of worried about this one funding, but I thought the game, we played it, and I thought the game was really cool. It's made by a designer actually down in Charlotte that's real good friends with Tony and Marty, and he has a game that's already published from Renegade Games, but it seemed pretty cool. I mean, I just love anything 4X for the most part, but if you haven't checked out Silver River, it's pretty cool overall. Like, is it one of the interesting things is that they named all the alien races after like alien races that people think of when they think of like aliens, like you would see on YouTube or something crazy, like reptilians and greys and random crap like that, which is kind of interesting. But then the cool thing is, like, in the center of the galaxy in this game, there are monsters that show up that you can go in there and battle. So, I mean, in our play, we didn't really fight each other. We just powered up and then went and fought the monsters in the middle. And that was a lot of fun to see, like, these different space monster miniatures in the game as well. It was pretty cool. I was excited about. I'm excited about the game. I was a little worried about it actually funding, but it looks really cool. Like if it actually gets made. But yeah, that's Silver River.
Yeah, it's about half. It's a little over halfway to its goal,
and it plays pretty fast, which is pretty solid. And I like the whole. There's like these cubes that you kind of allocate to different actions, and they allow you to do the same action more than once if you allocate enough cubes. And the whole game, you're trying to like get more of those resources to be able to take your actions more efficiently. But it was fun. And it's interesting to recognize North Carolina designers. So there you go.
Yeah.
Silver River.
Kent, you're funny. Said he'll buy my Throw Burrito used copy next year.
Rob's not giving it up because it's so amazing.
I don't know about the game. I do like the video for the game. I think the video is pretty hilarious.
I mean, honestly, what? You get 2 small felt burritos that you could, at worst, give to toys for your children for, what, $20,
the burritos
$35?
are super cute. That's
the video also
right?
says that the burritos are safe to throw at babies and grandparents.
There you go.
I mean,
that's all you need.
I was just like, bro, this is like...
Throw this burrito at your baby.
Yeah, and it shows, I think it shows like a little baby, not a cartoon baby, but getting hit with a burrito. I was just like, this is hilarious. Anyway.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I guess we can talk. Have you guys played anything over the weekend? Or since last week?
Yes, I did, but it's all stuff that we have talked about in the past.
Womp womp. Any Cliff Notes?
Cliff Note versions. I got to play The Mind again with a couple of teenagers.
I still need to play that.
Something.
Oh, I bought it.
You haven't played The Mind, Roy?
I haven't played The Mind because I don't get a chance to play cool games.
Uh-huh. You were just talking about a Kickstarter you got to play before anybody else got to play it. Well, no one feels bad for you. Like, you get to play cool games all the time. Anyway.
I feel like majority of the time I get roped into playing terrible games, but it's fine.
You work at, like, the biggest board game review place ever. Like,
and someone has to review the bad games.
Yeah, and you're also by Cool Stuff stores. Like, your gaming groups, you have no excuse. You have Cool Stuff stores. We have, what is it, House of Cards.
Yeah.
Woo!
I do want to say that after being down here and like going to Cool Stuff a bunch of times, gotta say I think Atomic Empire wins. Am I allowed to say that? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I'm pretty sure I feel like Atomic Empire wins. They're just way bigger. Like, I mean, Cool Stuff has a warehouse up in Orlando, but Atomic Empire has it all like in the store on the shelves, you know.
Yeah.
Cool Stuff's on Amazon, so.
And
yeah, I was
going to say, and Atomic Empire's prices still beat Cool Stuff when it comes to Asmodee games. So there's that.
Yeah. But anyway. So I played The Mind. It was a lot of fun. And then I also played Tada.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, we went through a bunch of those cards on Tada and like the powers of like keeping your hands together or clapping or standing up and saying a hurrah. And then we did it. We actually played some of the powers on the cards where like one opponent had to keep their head on the table the whole time while they're doing stuff. Other people always had to like, every time they did something on top of doing the spell, they had to make a compliment to somebody else.
That's awesome.
Before they could roll dice again. It's just, if you have a group of teenagers and you need to entertain them for half an hour to an hour and you've got a couple games in your back pocket, that's not so bad because they're fun, they're silly, they're easy. You really don't have to learn anything. And that was my situation. So, boom. That's what happened with me, sir.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you play anything, Matt?
Nope.
No.
Did you go see Captain Marvel yet?
No.
I want to see that. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it, man. Come on.
I was about to say, I knew you'd seen it, Rob. I bet it's good.
That was the first movie I've seen this year.
Any good? How do you rank it?
I would say 7.5 or 8 out of 10. It was good.
I'm just saying with the rest of the Marvel movies.
It's not a top 3 with the rest of the Marvel movies for me.
But does it still like add some to the story and stuff?
Oh yeah, it adds a lot. It sets up a lot. It's just
Cool.
Here's my one spoiler, and it's not even a spoiler, but so you guys know she's fighting those, scrolls. So Samuel L. Jackson runs into a scroll, right? And he sees this thing, having never seen an alien before, and he beats it up. And then after like 30 seconds of seeing the scroll, he's now okay that he came into contact with an alien. And I'm just kind of thinking, all right, in real life, bro, this would take a long time to process. And I understand, like, you've got to move along.
Well, he technically interacted with aliens in New York, right?
Oh, this is
in the 70s.
This is back.
No, this is not 70s. This is in the 90s.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, this is in the 90s. So this is
way before that.
You actually find out how he gets his eye patch. In the movie, he has both eyes.
Gotcha.
You find out how he gets his eye patch, but it's like little stuff like that. I thought her powers, like, she's amazing and all that kind of stuff. But I was just like, bro, if I just beat up an alien, I would need more than just a, phew, that was an alien, till I get beyond it. But besides that, it was good.
Nice.
So.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about one of the games that I played before I talk about other things I played. I got a chance to play Fallout Wasteland Warfare a couple times.
How was that?
I haven't got into a whole lot of the story stuff, but I just played a couple of the tutorial scenarios, and it has like scenarios where it tells you exactly how to set it up, like with specific objectives, and then you have specific characters with specific upgrade cards. It's pretty cool. Like the way that the combat and skill checks and stuff work is pretty fun. It's like you just roll a d20. And it's a custom d20, so it has all sorts of different symbols on it besides just regular 20 stuff. And you're trying to roll below your like target number. Like say you had a like perception of like 6, and you needed to hit somebody with it. Like it'll have different icons for like what you can do with your perception, and like if you're aiming or you're targeting with shooting a gun as your perception, then you'd have to roll a d20 and get a 6 or below. But it has like a couple crit symbols on there. It has a couple symbols that give you like bonus actions on there, and it has like some like auto fail symbols on there. But then you roll these dice to modify that as well, and kind of like you can break through your opponent's armor or deal extra damage depending on the kind of weapon you have. You'll get to roll these extra bonus dice. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I played with Sam first, and our scenario was he was the humans and I was the super mutants. And I guess the super mutants had trapped Dogmeat, the little dog from Fallout, in a like hunting trap, and they were trying to go check all these traps to get all the food out of it. And the humans were trying to save Dogmeat and take out the super mutants. And the super mutants were trying to get all the stuff out of the traps that they had caught before the time ran out or before they died. So I was playing the objective characters, and he was playing the guys who were just trying to kill super mutants, basically. And it was pretty fun. Sam wrecked me. He killed off all my super mutants. So that was fun. I didn't necessarily play to like the best of my ability because super mutants are kind of slow. I should have like focused on the objectives a little bit better and tried to like get out of his line of sight because I didn't realize he could shoot all the way across the map. Because his guys had just like really good like hunting rifles or something like that. But it was fun. The way the action points work are pretty cool.
Components and everything were.
Yeah, and the components are great. The miniatures are great, and it's very much like Fallout themed with all the different items and all the different characters. And then I played with another dude that was I think he was a fan of the show or whatever, and he was talking about he liked Epic Gaming Night and he wanted to sit down and check out the game. And we played, and we did like one where I was the humans this time, and I was trying to pump water, and he was a super mutant coming in because I was in super mutant territory. And we had freed his their like tech slave guy or whatever that helped them with technology, and he was helping me pump water. And they were trying to get him back, and he had to capture my people, and we had to pump water. And we basically got to the point where I needed like 2 more water tokens to win the game, and he ended up killing off my guys or he ended up capturing enough guys to win the game, which was like half of my guys or whatever, right before the time ran out. So I lost Fallout Wasteland Warfare twice, but I still really enjoy the game, and I'm excited to look more into it, especially when it comes to the scenario stuff And I really want to play the game more with terrain, because currently we've just been playing on like a blank open map. So it's very much like, hey, ranged attacks, you just shoot whoever you want. It's pretty rough, but it's been fun overall, and I like the system. So yeah, that's Fallout Wasteland Warfare.
Nice.
I will say, I thought it would have looked better, and I don't know if it was a bad angle of the pictures or something like that. But like, how would you compare the way that it looked compared to like a CMON game or something like that?
The miniatures look great. I mean, the map is pretty much just like a paper map or whatever, so there's not a whole lot going on, and it really needs some like 3D terrain to really get the full feel of the game. But it's definitely a miniatures game. Like, it is very fiddly in some aspects. There's lots of cars, lots of tokens, lots of all sorts of different stuff, lots of little rules that miniatures games have. I mean, I'm not talking about like a board games miniatures game. I'm talking like it feels like a full-on miniatures games with all sorts of like line of sight rules and different rules for this and that and all these different situations and different things. But I watched a ton of videos on people playing it to try to like shortcut and make it a lot easier for me to learn that sort of thing. But yeah, I feel like it'll look great after it's painted.
Okay.
But it was cool. I mean, I need to take a picture with like all of the components together instead of just a few dudes out on the board, you know, after half my guys die. But yeah, good times.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, part of what we wanted to talk about today for a topic, even though we've talked about a bunch of different things already, is Dice Tower West. I did end up going to Las Vegas, Dice Tower West.
What?
And I want to talk about it compared to like other cons and things. I know both of you have been to Dice Tower Con. Dice Tower West is like very, very similar to the way Dice Tower Con works. It's basically just like tons and tons and tons of open gaming area with a big old library that you can get games out of. And then there's a small area for like a few exhibitors or whatever that have come to the convention as well. But it's just that whole atmosphere of like, we are here to play games.
Yeah.
I feel like most anybody who ever got one of those players wanted signs, like their games just filled up immediately, you know? It's like it was super easy to find people to play games with. It's super easy to get into games. And there was just people all around just hanging out, wanting to play new games and try new things. It was pretty fun. I don't know about you guys, but I think like these conventions that are all about just playing the games are like the most enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
Because I know
I would agree.
Both you guys have gone to Gen Con and you've been to like several different things like CMON Expo or Dice Tower Con. Like, what is you guys' favorite like way for cons to be run or put together, or like the focus to be on?
I'll let you go first.
Okay. I mean, I really liked Dice Tower Con this past year when I went. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun getting to play games and hang out with a bunch of people. And it felt like that was sort of what I was there to do. I was at a gaming convention to game. And it was a really good time. My one critique of Dice Tower Con is that it's in the middle of Orlando and traffic is awful. So if you want to go somewhere nice to eat, it's going to be a pain. For sure. To get anywhere, which is why I really liked PAX Unplugged, because it's the same thing, but you're in the middle of just downtown Philadelphia. So it's just like, hey, do you want to go somewhere to eat? Cool, we'll walk 4 blocks that way, and we'll get good food.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I feel like PAX Unplugged, which I don't know last year if they ramped up the stuff. It felt like half and half. Like half of it was just all exhibitor stuff, and the other half was game playing, which is pretty cool. But I feel like they say what?
That was how they did it year one. It was basically the big hall was just split down the middle, and it was just tables on one side and booths on the other.
Cool. Yeah. But it was pretty cool, the fact that PAX Unplugged has like so much stuff around it. And I mean, you're basically, you can Uber or Lyft, and it takes like just a couple minutes to get down to the Vegas Strip in Vegas. And the hotel itself that we stayed in had tons of restaurants just there. It's basically like a hotel that's also a mall, if that makes any sense. Like it had like tons of shops and tons of restaurants. It's like extremely expensive stuff, but they're also, I guess, like little smaller hole in the wall type places, which could be a little bit less expensive. But a lot of things in Vegas are crazy ritzy and crazy like fancy. So if you're into fancy dining, you can definitely make that happen. Or hopefully you can find something that's a little bit more affordable. But yeah, it was really cool. Like just the hotel that we stayed in. Of course, it's like got a casino and stuff. So I mean, I didn't do any of the casino stuff, but I know several like board gamers would go like play board games for a while. Then at night, go play the craps table. It was just like crazy stuff like that. It's like leave Dice Tower West up. No, I'm just kidding. It was kind of interesting. But it's definitely super cool. Just having all the stuff there. The Dice Tower events themselves weren't necessarily as big, just because we're like getting all that stuff together. Because the Dice Tower events at Dice Tower Con, as far as like the top 10 lists and all that stuff, we had a little bit better of a setup. But I feel like years going forward, West will have even better stuff. But yeah. Oh, Ambi can tell you all about the craps tables. But it was good times. There are all sorts of fun things to do there. There was a Beyond Extreme game of... Did I tell you guys about the Spiky Dastards game? Rob?
You played it on the cruise, right?
Yeah, that game is dangerous and intense.
Beyond Extreme, did they put like razor blades into it?
Well, Tom made the mistake of saying no holds bar on Spiky Dastards, and it got a little intense, but everybody was just acting crazy. The Brothers Murph were a lot of fun, and Toby and his friend and Ambi were like going hard, of course, because they're just really good at those speed recognition games. But it was a lot of fun, and of course we had.
Well, what is it like? How did they go hard? Come on.
No, they're like Ambi and them have played a ton of like Go Splits, which is like another speed game. So it's one of those games where I don't know. I bet you they'd be really good at Throw Burrito. Hey Ambi, you should get on that Throw Burrito game because it's like recognize the patterns, grab the thing real quick, and do the thing. In Spiky Dastards, it's all about you have different characters on the different cards, and you flip them over, and you're trying to grab the correct thing. Like there are all these little creatures, but they're like super spiky. So they're just really good at that, and I'm not. I try to be good, just not to that level. But yeah. Apparently Ambi made money leaving...
it's called Spiky Dastards?
Yeah. Toby made money leaving leaving Vegas.
Hey, man, sometimes...
That's not a bad thing, though.
Sometimes that's
It's
how
only
it goes.
$15.
I guess you'll have to bring your... Well, I guess Throw Burrito won't be out for a while, right, Rob?
I don't think it'll be out by Dice Tower Con.
Gotcha. We'll maybe have to wait a while, but that'll be cool.
I think it's coming out this year, though. I'll tell you in just a second.
PAX Unplugged hype. I'm just kidding.
That's the con I'd like to go to.
Yeah, PAX Unplugged
if
is
you want to
awesome.
go to PAX Unplugged, if I could go this year, but I am excited to go to Dice Tower Con. To answer your question, Roy,
Yes.
I agree with Matt. I really do like Dice Tower Con. I think it's a lot of fun when you're going there to play that game, when you're going to a con to play a game. But I think there's benefits to all cons.
Right.
Like one of the things I like about Gen Con is like if I want to go get the game the day it comes out, I can go to Gen Con.
That's true.
And so like one of the things that I personally like more about Dice Tower Cons is I just want to get together, play with friends, and play for days on end and just play. Just play. And so that scratches more of a personal itch. But then there's also like that, that Black Friday shopping rush where it's like, oh, I need to run in Gen Con and go get this game, but not really run. We're just speed walking type of a thing.
Because they say no running.
Yeah, no running. And so, to each their own. But anyway, I
think Gen Con is really good for like the news and things like that. Like you get brand new announcements and brand new games, and you can demo all the brand new things.
Yeah.
But I think if you're like a person that like really likes to play games and like meet up with different people, it's really cool. Especially if you're a fan of like hanging out with Dice Tower contributors. but I guess I'm mostly friends with like all of those people, so it makes it probably a little bit different experience for me. So I don't know.
I mean, I honestly don't care about hanging out with contributors and stuff like that.
Especially not the Dice Tower editor guy. That guy is lame.
Well, no, it's not that. Like, I'll hang out with you if you want to play a game with me, but
right.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, great, you do that. That's awesome, and I appreciate you doing that. But let's go play a game.
Yeah,
and if
sure.
you want to go do something else, go do something else. I'm
and
here
another
to play
thing that's
games.
amazing is if you go to Gen Con or you go to things like that, majority of the time, which we got lucky sometimes, but majority of the time, the cool designers and stuff like that don't have time to play games or hang out or talk to you much.
Yeah.
But if they're at Dice Tower Con or something like that, it's like way more chill. You get to play all the things.
Yes, and so that's what I'm excited about, and like that's one of the things that I love about like Kent Parker and his wife and stuff. Like, they will also just play games all day, right? And it's not, I don't feel like Matt and I were being snoobish or whatever, just like playing with them a lot. But anytime we wanted to play a game, they're like, "Sure, we'll play." And when you're a good person and I enjoy your company, I don't care if I play with you all weekend. If I'm having fun, let's continue to play.
Oh yeah. I mean,
So
we played several games with Emerson last Dice Tower Con as well, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Dude.
yeah,
Because Rob, you got to teach us, the three of us,
Samurai, Starship
Samurai, and different stuff
Yeah.
like that. And we got to play a bunch of cool prototypes and things like that, so that was
of
all
his,
fun.
which is so ridiculous because he made up like 2 of them that day or that morning.
I know.
And he was like, "It's like you're so freaking talented, man!" Like, I especially like that one with the spaceship, and we had to like
Oh,
do
yeah.
the movement. And the first time, I think the first game we went off
I think we
the
did.
chart, or whatever. But
Yeah, we were on the
yeah.
same team. That's right. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
just like, anyway, off the map. Does it rack
Yes.
like Pac-Man? And they're like, no, you're dead. And it's like, well,
yeah.
re-rack, I guess. Run it
But
back.
anyway, so I'm just, I like the cons for what they are and for what they do. I just want to play games.
Yeah, for sure.
So, boom. Next question, sir.
Awesome. Oh, man. All right, stories from Dice Tower Con. I don't know. I had a ton of fun. It was definitely super interesting because this was.
Did you play a game that you did not expect to like that you ended up liking?
Actually,
Was there a game where they're like, "Hey, Roy, play," and you're like, "I'd rather not," but they're like, "No, we need one more," and you jumped in, and you were like, "Hey, this is actually."
Ambi's in chat, so I feel bad about saying this. But, I had heard like mixed reviews on Forbidden Skies, so I was kind of like, but fans of like our stuff, are this lady who was like really into like, I don't know if she was a fan of Epic Gaming Night or just a fan of the other stuff that goes on, like Favorite Game Friday and stuff like that. But she was like, "Oh, Roy, come play this game with us." And I know that Forbidden Skies was a cooperative game, but I remember hearing like mixed things, but hadn't heard much about it since it came out. So I was like, okay,
Is
well,
that
I'll
the
try
new
it.
one of the Forbidden Desert and all that
Yes,
stuff?
it's the third in the like trilogy of Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert, and Forbidden Skies. And I was like, but Ambi was playing. I was like, oh crap, I need to play this game with Ambi and these other cool people. They're cool too. So I was like, I'll give it a whirl. I don't know how well I like this game, but I'll give it a whirl. And overall, it's a fun game. It's pretty interesting. But I do not think it is an easy game at all. It seems quite difficult because you're basically trying to dig through the deck to get certain tiles to complete patterns as you're doing like this tile laying thing. But the entire time, lightning keeps striking and electrocuting you, and the wind keeps blowing you and trying to blow you off of the sky platforms or whatever you're on. And like none of the cards that are in the little deck that you have to draw from each turn are any good. They're all just terrible. And but it was pretty interesting. I felt like me and Ambi were like on the same page the whole time. We're like, do this, and we had to like talk the other players that into like, don't do that. That's a terrible idea. But it was pretty interesting trying to get everything together, and I feel like we had it all figured out, and then we just ran out of time right at the very end. So it felt like it was kind of close. I feel like we had like one more round, and we maybe could have won it. But I think was somebody else's character ended up getting blown off and ended the game. And that's how it rolls with those games, cooperative games. But it's kind of cool because you set up these little discs and these little lightning rod things, but they're all like metallic with like magnets. And you're trying to make a circuit loop that goes around back to the spaceship. So not only do you have to find the tiles that build the spaceship like platform, you also have to get a certain circuit with certain other like discs and lightning rods and different things like that out onto the board to actually like have the right number in your circuit to be able to win. And there's different difficulties. I feel like we maybe should have played on novice for our first game, but it was still a lot of fun. So hey, had fun playing that with Ambi, and I actually went into the game being like, I haven't heard super positive things about this, but it ended up being really fun.
Well, cool.
So I definitely want to try it again, but I want to try it with people that are like super extreme about the game and are like, this is how we do this. We're gonna make it happen.
Speaking of like extreme about the game, part of me really wants to get a Werewolf Legacy game going at Dice Tower Con this July.
Just like one of the days, just be like, this day is
like
Werewolf
one
Legacy.
night we all like order pizza and we play, like maybe we start around like 9 o'clock at night and we just play like through the night. Because I think if we had enough people and like we made a sign up thing out of it.
Tom has a recharge pack on the shelf, and he's not even going to use the base game. I know for a fact. I'd be like, hey, dude, cause he actually asked me to do a review for that game. I was like,
well,
hey, let me do the review, and I'll take the recharge pack and give it to Rob.
Bro,
do you still have enough of the regular stuff? I don't even know what happened with all the pieces.
I'll buy the game. I'll buy a new copy if we don't get the recharge pack. But I think we could get 10 to 14 people easily to play. And if we had everybody commit, we all ordered like pizza, drinks, and like we made like a fun thing out of it. You know,
we could get it done in like half the time that it took our
easily.
game.
Easily. And plus, you know, if we had somebody who was like dedicated as like the announcer person, you know, so like they could get all caught up on what to do. I just think
you really want to do it, but you don't want to be the announcer.
Well, honestly, no, because I like playing with the families. I like getting yelled at, and then my feelings hurt because, like, why won't you believe me? But you shouldn't, because then I tell Matt, hey, I'm the werewolf, but I'm your family member. Don't rat me out. You know, like, I love things like that. Like, Matt's face was priceless when that happened. And then, what do I do? And then later on, he was like, are you really the werewolf? And I'm like, nah, I'm not the werewolf. But I really was. You know, just like the stupid mind games. I absolutely love that. And so I don't know. I think it would be a lot of fun. And at like a con where you play all day and play all night, I just think, man, it could be like a cool EGN get together and a hangout type of a thing, rather than the day we're leaving type of a thing. It may be something to consider.
I mean, honestly, based off chat, we already have 7 people.
Yeah.
Wait, the minimum is 9, but what's the maximum?
I think it plays like up to 15 or something like that.
Yeah, it's somewhere between that, like 12.
Snap.
I think you need 10 to play though. It's like 9 players, but one of them is also. But then you need a narrator. So
I'm just saying, if we got plenty more than that, we wouldn't have to worry as much.
Oh, we could get more, and I even think if Josh Lubkovitz found out we were doing this. You know, I don't know his schedule, but he may be down to play because I know he loves Werewolf.
Oh yeah, he does love Werewolf.
Fair, most of the time that guy was not doing anything at late night hours. He was just
he was back in his room, play testing and drinking. I think he was mostly drinking than play testing.
Hey man, that's the life of a game designer, I guess.
But anyway, I think that
I wonder
might
if
be
there's a
something
day I have that I don't have something like in the middle of the day that I have to do.
Well, no, this would have to be at night. You can't play Werewolf Legacy in the middle of the day.
I guess you're right.
I mean, because I think the nostalgia and everything going on, like this is one of those things where it's like dark, you know, and like, I don't know. Not that it's not already dark in there, but I just think it'd be.
They have specific rooms that are for that sort of thing. I wonder if we could just get a room.
But should we get a room, or should we play like in a corner where everyone else is like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Because I feed off of people's energy. So I don't know. We'll see. If we'll talk more about this and what needs to happen. I did talk to my wife. I am going to Dice Tower Con this year. It is official. I already have my ticket. And my mother-in-law is coming in that weekend to help out with the kids. So now I just got to find somebody to room with. So if anybody's getting a room and you need a roommate,
Matt,
let me know. Matt and I will sleep with you. Not physically, but sort of physically, but not intimately. Matt might. I'm not going to. My wife will get mad.
Spooning is a possibility.
Hey, I spooned with Brandon Pleshik. I did spoon, but he is a handsome, handsome man with a natural Joe Dirt mustache. Like, it just grows in like that. So anyway,
sometimes it just be like that, man.
Sometimes it just needs. That was see, Gen Con. That was such a great con. That was the whole secret Hitler con, and then so much cheese was brought. Brandon brought cheese from Wisconsin and all this other kind of stuff, and that's where we fell in love with the jalapeno cheese thing, the habanero. Oh man,
that's the entire reason I want to go back to Indianapolis with this cheese sticks.
Bro. And then forget
about Gen Con and stuff. I'm just going to Indianapolis for cheese sticks
for the food.
I mean, look, I'll go hang out
Steakhouse.
Yeah.
With that cocktail sauce.
Dude, let me tell you, I want to go back because it's like I've been trying to get into steaks, but it's like I have a really weird palate where I just can't stomach a lot of stuff. So I have a sous vide machine, right? So I was like, cool, I'll make steaks that way because they come out perfect each time, and I just need to sear it. And it was like the steaks I had were okay, but they still had that thing where they were just like aggressively chewy. But I remember that just cube of meat that you gave me from your steak that was just like butter, and I was like, I understand why people like steak. This is so good.
It's funny. Yeah. I hadn't checked like the reviews on like iTunes in like forever, and I went and checked. And there was somebody on there that was complaining. They're like, I really like the show and I really like these guys, but they go on way too many tangents and they just like can't stay on topic like ever. And I was just sitting there thinking, I'm way past caring. Unsubscribe. It's like it's never gonna happen. But I thought it was hilarious. I'm like,
it's just who we are.
It's just natural conversation. Wherever the conversation leads, we like to have fun, and we're just gonna have that natural conversation.
That's the thing about podcasts is it's designed mostly to be a free form.
I mean, honestly, our podcast isn't like the gain information podcast. Our podcast is the, hey, come hang out with your friends, and the handsome Rob Newman. Come on. I mean, everybody knows why they're here.
Yes, the friends part. Yes.
I usually don't consider podcasts where they're interviewing somebody to be a podcast. I consider it to be an interview. Is that podcasts to me are just people who are talking about a subject that they are particularly passionate about. And it's like maybe they're trying to teach each other something. Maybe they're trying to teach the audience something. Maybe they're just talking, just for, no reason.
Yeah, I was like, ha!
Well, I think getting back to subject, I think...
No, what I'm saying is we need to talk more about jalapeno cheese sticks. No, I'm kidding.
Well, we need to find a jalapeno cheesesteak place, or...
We
went to that one good pizza place in Florida at Dice Tower Con last year, man. It was pretty good.
Oh, Giordano's?
Yeah. That Chicago deep dish style.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Man, that was really good. That was really good. And that's
it's
also when like Courtney was like super pregnant, and so like she was eating like a man. It was awesome.
Wait, what?
Well, if you ever met Kent and Courtney, they're both like Kent. I love Kent. I think he's a great guy, but he is Splendor Man. He's that tall, skinny guy who's just like awkwardly in the back, and he might haunt you in your nightmares. That may happen, right? Well, Courtney is also a very petite person, but she was like super prego maego at the time, and so it was like, if you were to see Courtney, and this is not trying to be rude or judgmental, but I would not imagine she's a good eater, right? I would think like, okay, half of a piece of pizza to a piece of pizza, you're full. And that baby was hungry, and it was awesome. I was like, yes, because typically
order another
when I'm
pizza.
Well, I can eat a lot, and so I'm conscious about that when I'm around people, especially skinnier people, because I'm like, crap, like my weight already shows off that I'm obese. Like I don't need my eating habits to show it off as well.
Yeah.
And so like if you're eating another slice, then I feel better to eat another slice. So you guys
could have a competition then?
Yeah, so like she kept eating, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep eating. Like, yes, let's do this. Let's go. And so that's my thought process behind that. Is like, all right, as long as you keep eating, right? I'll keep going. But if you stop, I'm gonna stop.
There you go.
And then I'll go back in my room and then eat it in the bathroom while crying. Like, it's cold.
That's awesome.
Anyway. Good time.
So, as far as Dice Tower West goes and some of the other games, I played Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea 3 times.
Are you over it now?
Actually, no. I'm like, since everybody's always asking me to play that game because they know that I love it so much. I talk about it all the time on Favorite Game Friday.
Roy is the brand ambassador for Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea.
I'm pretty sure I push that game more than Gambling Games does.
At this point, probably.
Well, they've also sent you everything before it's even come out. Like,
true.
Yeah. Like they love you hardcore.
I really want to paint like all of it, especially if I'm going to be taking it to all these conventions. But it was a ton of fun because I got to play with like fans of the show and like people that knew that I liked the game a lot, and then they were excited to learn. And like several people that are like, my Kickstarter should be there when I get home, because everybody's getting their pledges for it now. I've seen a lot of people posting about, hey, I got mine in, got this in. Yeah, so a lot of people is getting their stuff now. So a lot of people, I got to teach several people how to play it. But it was pretty fun. But the last game we played, on the last day, we had to expel someone from the game.
What do you mean?
This is really weird. I've never had to ask someone to leave a game before.
Oh, it wasn't part of the rules. It was like they were being so bad.
No. So apparently, I hope this guy never listens to the podcast. I don't think he knew who I was, so it's fine. If you're out there, I'm sorry, but no one knows who you are.
Don't apologize.
Either, so
if he was such a jerk, you had to ask him to leave.
It's pretty much true. So apparently, there was this guy who stayed up all night the first night playing Twilight Imperium, and he was bragging about this, and he also went to sleep for 4 hours, and then the night before we were playing this game, he didn't sleep at all. But somehow he ended up sitting down and learning how to play Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea with us. It was really hard to explain the rules to him because he kept asking the same questions over and over again. And it took him an extremely long time to take his turns, which is fine. We were very patient. Analysis paralysis of the thing. So we're like, man, this guy has extreme analysis paralysis. Where it got to a point where we're all just and he just kept talking about how tired he was. And he's like, sorry, I'm not usually like this. I'm just really tired. And I'm just we're looking around. And so in Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, literally my favorite game of all time at this point. I love that game. You get to follow actions. It's awesome to follow actions. It's really one of the main things in the game is you get to follow actions with these peon guys or these serfs. But during the first thing that somebody did, the first action of a round, was to recruit something. Everybody else recruited. Apparently this guy forgot to recruit. We get to the end of the round, and this guy's like, oh, did somebody recruit? I didn't recruit. How? I must have missed that. I need to recruit. And I was just well, that was the beginning of the round. And he started getting upset and well, if I would have seen the recruit, I would have followed it. I'm like, well, dude, everybody else heard. He's like, well, you guys should have told me louder that was recruit time. I'm like, I just looked at him. I was like, hey man, maybe you need to go to sleep. That's what I said. And he's like, I was like, listen, if you have to if you have to clean your stuff up, it won't hurt the game. We can still continue to play. We'll just have your continent be out of the board. It's no big deal. Maybe you need a nap. And he's like, oh, I'm really sorry. I have to go. There's no hard feelings, but I'm gonna go lay down. I'm like, I think you should. I felt terrible. It really made me feel bad. But I was trying to teach these people this game, and he wasn't having a good time, and he was making us not have a good time. And then he went and he's like, well, maybe I'll just sit around and watch. He didn't do that, but it was intense because I've never had to do anything like that in a game before. But yeah, hey, listen, if you're at a con, get some sleep. Take care of yourself. Gaming is fun, gaming is amazing, but don't do it at the expense of everybody around you. You know, that's rough. But I'm hoping he got sleep. I mean, I feel like he was literally hurting himself. But after he left, everybody's like, holy smokes, this game's really fast. Man, it's crazy how fast the rounds go around. I'm like, yeah, it's normally pretty quick.
Yeah, I played it a couple times now, and I think the longest a game took was right over 2 hours.
Right. It's normally
that was maybe
30
the first game.
minutes per
That was
player.
our teaching game. Once everybody gets in sync, it is a quick 4x game.
Right.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I like it so much, because it is a quick 4x game. And in fact, if you're not paying attention, somebody will win the game without you realizing it.
Yeah, for sure.
So all right, Roy, welcome to no, I'm not saying
Being
to
mean,
grown up hood
the
or whatever,
Being
but
Mean
welcome
Club.
to management, good for you. Like
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
sometimes
a
you just
really
gotta
hard
let
thing
people
for me
go.
to do too, because I'm normally like an extremely nice person, but I could tell it was bringing everybody else down. And I was just like,
You had me at analysis paralysis. Like as soon as you said that, I was like, nope, you've got to go.
but it
Rob's
was
"Go."
like analysis paralysis based off of something he had done to himself, you know?
Then don't play the game. Like why should we be punished or penalized? Because yes, you're excited. Okay, well you could have picked to play other games. You could have done something else, but like you're literally punishing everybody else. And now you're wanting to argue with us about something because you want us to yell at you about recruitment. No, bro, you need to go to sleep, or we're gonna recruit you to go sleep. You know, like you need to get out of here. So anyway, I'm proud of you, Roy.
Yeah, I had to like, I just looked at it, I was like, dude, you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Rough. I'm not normally like that, guys, but hey, get
Oh,
some
come
sleep
on.
too.
Let everybody know Roy is really a mean, terrible person, and he will yell at you. He'll just straight up yell at you.
But from now on, whenever someone's being a pain in a game, I'm just gonna be like, hey, go take a nap. maybe you need to go to sleep.
I wish you would. I really
We'll
do.
be playing a social deduction game, and Rob will be arguing with me. I'll be like, "Yo, Rob, you need to take a
Go
nap."
take-
what
I'll
are you
start
talking
laughing.
about, man?
Hey, I have a question for you since you're sort of in the industry now. Any insight of when the stupid Game of Thrones mat is coming out?
I don't know. Asmodee doesn't. I don't know. Do they
Still
have-
waiting. I'm still waiting on my Cool Stuff Inc. order from November 7th.
I wonder if like Fantasy Flight doesn't do a good job of shipping that out like to other distributors.
Well, at first they said it was supposed to come out Q4 of last year, and now they're saying Q1 of this year. But
I
they're not
feel
giving
like
a
the mat
concrete date.
itself was probably released mainly on their website. Because I feel like a lot of those things are easier to get from Fantasy Flight itself than from an actual game store, you know.
Well, I may try to call Cool Stuff again.
But they
and
had
just-
all those Keyforge mats and stuff like crazy. And I've
Yeah.
seen a bunch of stuff, but I don't know. They should be able to fix that for you, man. If not, that's terrible customer service.
It is terrible. That Rising Sun game did get a little tense, Jordan, but speaking of Recon, that Rising Sun game was not the most tense Rising Sun game I've ever had. Recon, I think
During
the
that
very
Rising Sun game, somebody should have told me to take a nap. I'm just kidding.
first- where you were getting a little.
Yeah, you could tell it was getting late. It was just like, here we go.
Somebody go, Roy,
It's
go
like
take a nap.
2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't like 2 a.m. is like super late, but when it's like the 4th or 5th night in the row
Yeah.
of 2 a.m. and waking up early to go play or do
It's also-
something like.
Roy, it's best if you just went to sleep right now. You're probably right. I'm sorry, I gotta leave.
It's just it was
Kent,
2 in
that's
the
not
morning with
true,
a
sir.
game like Rising Sun, where it's like if it's 2 in the morning playing Strike, who cares?
I just think Kent did not deserve to win that game. That's just all I'm saying. He didn't deserve it.
Both games of Rising Sun I've been a part of that were semi-tense, if not tense, were with Kent Parker.
I'm trolling Kent in any game I play from now on.
I mean, the first game, you want to talk about analysis paralysis. It took us 5.5 hours to play that game.
Oh yeah.
I
Rob was so salty
losing
about
my
that.
mind.
Man, it's so crazy how like the game time on a board game differs drastically depending on the people you're playing it with.
I understand certain decisions take longer to do things, and I get that, right? But what bothers me so much about analysis paralysis is when you're not paying attention when it's not your turn, and you
Well, that's
now
majority
want
of the time how it is, right?
when you want everybody else to explain to you what they did, or you want to analyze the board to figure out what they did. No. Like, to me, that's rude. Like, you are disrespecting my time. You're disrespecting what I've got going on. Like, you're being a
Pay
jerk.
attention.
Pay attention. Man, so anyway, good times. I'm excited for Dice Tower Con now.
I'm
We
super
definitely
stoked
need
for
to talk
Dice Tower.
about Werewolf Legacy, because I would totally grab a copy for us to play.
Let's just get Bezier Games to sponsor it. I'm just kidding.
Why not?
Give us some prizes. Werewolf Legacy prizes. I don't know.
You got connections. Let's try to do something.
Gonna hit them up. I just hope there's a time where I would have a stretch of time long enough to do that, you know?
Well,
I guess if
if
I
we play
make
at night,
it where
though,
it's
isn't
like
that
this
better
is a
for you?
scheduled thing I'm doing, it's a scheduled thing.
Sure, but even if we play at night, isn't that better for you?
Yeah, as long as it's after events. The problem is like the event things are normally like at night.
Out as they go, so you could be
Right.
that one extra guy.
Well, as long as
Or
I'm not
heck,
moderating, So.
Yeah,
Oh,
we just need to find somebody else to moderate.
Well, my last thing is what was my favorite part about Dice Tower West, and honestly, it was literally just all the awesome people that like came up and talked to me. Like it was crazy. There were tons of people that wanted to take pictures and just talk to me about 3D printing stuff and talk about all sorts of Dice Tower things in Favorite Game Friday. But the thing that I always tell everybody, anytime anyone comes up to me and is like, oh man, I love Epic Gaming Night. The podcast is so great. Like, okay, cool. Like the Dice Tower stuff is like one thing. Like when somebody's like, oh, I like Favorite Game Friday. Oh, I like your Board Game Breakfast segment. Okay, that's cute. But hey, when somebody comes up and is like, oh man, I love Epic Gaming Night, it just is like, whoa, you're in deep. You know what's
you're
up.
a fan.
You're a real fan. Who cares about these Dice Tower people? Tom's going to listen to this and be like, you're fired, Roy. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't.
Does he even listen to our show?
Heck no. What are you talking about? He doesn't even watch Dice Tower stuff. He doesn't listen to our show.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
Yeah. But it's always funny and awesome when like I come up with somebody and somebody's like, oh man, where's Rob? Like, and where's Matt? Like, I miss those guys. And like, we need more handsomeness and all that stuff. It's just always cool to talk and interact with those people and people that like are like true fans of that sort of thing. Because it feels like you know those people even more if they listen to you ramble about cheese sticks and throwing burritos for several hours. It's just a lot of fun. So my favorite part of the con is whenever I get to meet and interact with all you awesome people out there. I don't even like to call you fans. I like to call you friends because we just need to. You're already friends with us. We just need to meet you. So
they are the best.
So anytime you see us at any convention, whether it be Recon or Dice Tower Con or Gen Con or whatever it is, make sure to come up and say hi, and make sure to let us know that you're a fan of Epic Gaming Night because it definitely means a lot.
Yeah,
and
play a game with us. We will play with you.
Yeah, for sure. And that was one of the big parts of this convention as well, is getting to play with those people that were fans of that sort of stuff, being like, oh man, I've heard you talk about Heroes of Lander and Sea on Epic Gaming Night constantly, like, let's play. I'm like, yes, let's do it. It's just a lot of fun to be able to do that stuff.
We should get that printed out on shirts. Just, we will play with you. Just that completely out of context.
How could you make it out of context but then also have it board game related? Like,
we'll just put our logo on the back. It's one of those shirts where it's just like, cool, it's kind of weird and perverted up front. And then on the back, though, makes sense.
Epic Gaming Night. Awesome, guys. Well, hopefully we'll get to see some of y'all at some of these awesome conventions.
Yeah.
So if we're going to Dice Tower Con, hit us up. I don't know. I feel like we're probably all up in the air about PAX Unplugged, but we all want to go.
Yes. For sure.
Yes.
And I'll be at like Dice Tower Retreat. I'm still really trying to go to CMON Expo. I'm still trying to figure that out though. So
I bought my ticket. I don't know if I'm
CMON
going to go though.
You're gonna just like drop in?
I may. I have got like until like the beginning of May to cancel. But if I do go, it'll probably just be a day. I mean, to get a whole nether.
Dude, they were announcing all of their tournaments for Song of Ice and Fire too. So that seemed pretty cool.
I want to. It depends on the schedule.
Did you see their Instagram account? They were posting tons of Game of Thrones pictures.
Bro.
And I felt like it was probably more units or more factions for Song of Ice and Fire.
They've been announcing more and more units and stuff that are coming out, and I'm excited to see what the new factions are. Right now, we just have the four main factions that they've released so far: the Starks, the Lannisters, the Night's Watch, and the Wildlings. And then, of course, they have like the not the Baratheons. They have the Flayed Men.
If they make a Night King set, I'm all in.
They have been very adamant, and in their Facebook forums and stuff like that, like even Mike and all the guys from CMON talk a lot in there. They're very adamant on so much stuff coming out constantly. Like I'm excited for the Lannisters. That's who I've kind of invested in, because when I first started playing, everybody was a Stark, so I was like, all right, crap, I'll just be the Lannisters, so it's something different. and they just announced some new units for the Lannisters, and they're constantly coming out with stuff, and so that's why I may go just to have
Can I
another
make
box.
an entire army of just the Mountain on horseback, though? No, I'm just kidding.
I wish you could, but like for the special figures, you could only have one.
But
Yeah, I'm excited for all that kind of stuff, and I want to get another box so I can do like an epic game of so many armies or so much stuff. So anyway, we'll see. I wish somebody was here that I could play with. I keep saying that, and I even messaged somebody last week about, hey man, let's play guy in Charlotte, and then he was like, sure, I'm available. He was like, yeah, and then I haven't gotten back to him just because like work's been so busy. So I say I want to play.
Do you still play games with Steven much?
With Steven who?
Your friend Steven.
Which one?
You know too many Stevens. The guy
I know several.
Went to Gen Con with us.
No, bro, I haven't seen him in over a year.
Well, I don't know. You just cut off friendships. I see how it is. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep.
He's dead to me. No,
completely my fault. No, just
he seems like he might like that sort of thing, but
well, like ever since I took over the company,
you've been so busy, swamped, I'm sure.
Yes, because now like my
it's
agent's
coming into the spring season, right?
No, it's in the spring season.
That's busy time.
Yes. Saturday was my first, and I'll call it an off day, even though it wasn't an off day. Like I still did some work, but Saturday was my first day off since December 28th.
That's crazy.
Literally 7 days a week, constantly going. January, February have been slammed. March has been slammed. Speaking of CMONI Expo, I had doctors drive in last week on a Tuesday from Atlanta to buy a house, and then they drove home that night.
But did they buy a house?
Yes.
Hype.
They were just like, we want this, we'll pay this amount, and the seller was like, okay. Yes. And we got the paperwork signed, and then they drove home, and now we're doing everything electronically.
Gotcha.
But it's just it's a crazy time of the year. Like we have a lot of stuff like that happen with people coming in from all over the world and all over the country.
I mean, I can't recommend Ardmore Realty enough, because they have fast turnaround times, man.
I changed my Instagram account name.
Oh yeah, is it like Board Gaming Rob or something like that?
It's I think it's Board Game Newman, because I have another Instagram that I have for my writing stuff, which is RS Newman Writes, right? And so my marketing team, they were like, yeah, writing.newman and RS Newman Writes, not great. And so I changed my other one to Board Game Newman. So if you're already friends with me, you're still continued to be friends with me. It's just my name now. If you're going to look me up, is Board Game Newman. So
change the actual @ to Board Game Newman?
Yes, like that's my name.
That'll probably be easier for people to remember, even though we have like a ton of episodes where I shout out your other Instagram.
Yeah, but my other Instagram, RS Newman Writes is my book stuff, and then Board Game Newman is
So what you're saying is follow both.
I mean, you can, but they are very different from each other. If you listen to the show, you'll probably, I don't know, like them both. You'll see.
There you go. Well, awesome, guys. I guess we'll wrap this thing up. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We stream these Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time at youtube.com/Epic Gaming Night. I want to say thank you so much to all of our amazing patrons for helping support Epic Gaming Night, helping pay the bills and keep the lights on, and helping make this thing happen. Y'all are great. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure to hit us up on Twitter and Instagram at Epic Gaming Night. And Rob already talked about his Instagrams, but also make sure to follow Shades of the Mind on Instagram, because I think Matt logs into that like maybe once a month.
I check people's stories sometimes.
Oh snap! So so get Matt to follow you, and then post some stories. He might see them.
Yeah.
just spam Matt with "Please follow me, Matt."
Or if you're like Jordan, play all the games I want to play, I'll just send him a bunch of messages constantly. Like, hey man, how's that game? Hey man, how's that game? Hey man, how's that game?
He's like, I'm in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks everybody who's been in chat. Y'all are all amazing always.
You guys are the best. We do love you so much.
And Adam says
Love
to
you so much.
DM Matt cheese pictures.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Or if you ever see him at a con, wake him up with a glass chocolate milk in one hand and freshly still wrapped cheese in the other.
Oh man, we need to start planning for our Dice
Scavenger
Tower Con. Is that Adam? Are you coming to Dice Tower Con? Has he said?
He's talking about it, and he even just said Werewolf Night 2019.
Dude, Matt or Adam, we're gonna have to add you into some of our shenanigans when we do that as well.
Oh, I'll come up with a good. I'll come up with some ideas for the scavenger hunt, and I'll let you guys know. We'll get it pre-approved. But I may even do something with. If you play the game with us, you may get some extra points or something like that.
Oh snap! See everybody later.
He's all in. Boom.
Peace.
See you guys. Peace.
Love you.